It's Susboy. Today I'm doing something a little different. A digital art session instead of my usual street photography vlogs. Hope you stick around until the end and enjoy the process with me. So here, I'm currently working on a sketch for my artwork. To achieve the striking mirror effect, I'm utilizing the symmetry lines feature in Procreate. It really adds depth and balance to the design, making the whole piece come to life. The idea behind this artwork is a powerful representation of a mystical owl. The owl embodies wisdom, while the skull signifies mortality. The all-eye-seeing eye symbolizes hidden knowledge. Together, these elements boldly depict themes of wisdom, death, and enlightenment. Art is personal and doesn't need a deep meaning. It's about the artist's feelings. This piece blends the owl calmness with the bright colors for a striking effect. Here's the final output of the sketch I created. To improve visibility, I reduced the opacity of the sketch layer to 50%. I also separate the sketch and line art into different layers in my software. This method allows me to clearly follow the outline of the sketch as I create the line art, ensuring clean and precise line throughout the process. My process for creating line art involves separating the main lines from the details. I use a brush size of 6 for the main line and size of 3 to 4 for the details. Now focus on adding thick, bold lines to the artwork to enhance its visual impact. I carefully trace the lines while following the contour of the sketch to ensure clean and precise outlines. This attention to detail will improve the overall quality of the piece. I make sure that every line is clean and precise, so the final line art looks professional and neat. Creating line art takes a lot of time and effort. It's all about trial and error. Building confident lines and knowing the right detail takes practice. As you work on it every day, you'll find that you become more familiar with the process, even if the initial sketches aren't great. Line art is definitely my favorite part. It's a chill moment that's full of choices, where every stroke feels intentional. It's all about bringing my visions to life, paying attention to the little details that really matters. Sometimes I redo the same line 5 times, and that's okay, because every time I do, I learn something. How the hand moves, how the stroke flows, all that adds up. I used to rush through stops, thinking I had to finish fast to feel productive. But now I'd rather go slow and enjoy the process. Better to build something clean than burn out. Clean line takes time, and real growth, it's quiet. It's in the moment no one sees. The long hours, the do-overs, the times you almost give up. I'll fast forward the process now so we can move on to the next phase of the video. Here's the first phase of the line art, showing the thick lines and the main structure coming together. Next up, we'll add in the details. Now I'm getting into the details. This is honestly one of my favorite parts of the process. It's where everything starts to feel alive. I always create the details on separate layers, which allows me to make quick corrections and enhance the artwork efficiently. This method not only ensures a cleaner final product but also gives me the flexibility to refine my work as necessary. Just important note that not all elements within artwork can be effectively represented through lines alone. I utilize this method because it serves an excellent approach to enhance depth and contrast within compositions. Many ideas and style can be explored in artwork, influenced by one's unique artistic approach. A key example is cross-hatching, which creates texture and depth through layered lines. My advice if you're just starting out is to experiment with various approaches to detailing an artwork and discover what resonates with you. Additionally, be patient with your art. It's not about achieving results overnight. Rather, it involves continuous growth and development over time. Here I'm adding small lines just to break up the flat areas and give it some life. It really helps to enhance the overall look and make it more dynamic. Little detail like this can make a big difference. As I layer these lines, you see how they transform the flat areas into something more engaging. Details are essential in your artwork. They enhance impact, create depth, and guide your viewer's eye, making your piece more engaging and expressive. Prioritize these small touches to truly bring your creation to life. Moving forward, I'll be diving into all the details, and once done, we'll head into the next phase. Let's keep going with the details and break it down even further. Just adding more lines to guide the form and clean things up. Here I'm almost done finishing up the details on the feather. From here, I will speed up the process to ensure we stay on track. Here I'm adding some little details to the owl's feet. Now I'm adding details to each part of the artwork, and we're almost finished on the details. I'm carefully adding in small details here, just enough to give the piece more depth without overworking it. Here I'm adding a solid black color to the artwork to make it stand out. I keep adding details until I am satisfied with it. Detailing almost wrapped up. Just a few final touches left to bring everything together. Also, don't forget when you're detailing to clean up the lines and sharpen the edges. Okay, line work's done, details are in. Time to throw in some colors and really make this thing pop. First, I'm laying down a flat base of brown. It gives me a nice neutral tone to build everything else on. I don't want to get into shading yet, just blocking out the foundation. At the same time, I'm switching the background to black. It helps me to see the edges more clearly and set the tone for the mood I'm going for. I'm keeping it simple for now, just dropping in one flat color at a time to block everything out before I start shading. For now, I'm just focusing on the basic color types, laying them down loosely, and then fine-tunes everything later. Right now, it's all about the base. These simple colors give me a starting point to build from later. Each color gets its own layer, that way I can adjust the hue and saturation or even shape without messing up the rest of the work. Trying to keep the color balance, nothing too saturated yet, just enough to get the vibe. Almost finished with the colors, just doing little tweaks to balance the tone better. Just wanted the wings to stand out a bit, so I used purple to make them feel more mystical and different. When it comes to coloring, I usually start with something neutral. It gives me a safe base to work from. At this point, it's all about polishing. No big changes, just refining what's already here. Too many colors can get messy, so I'm sticking with what works and just shifting the values slightly to create contrast. Once I'm happy with this, I'll move on to the shading and lighting. Now I'm adding shadows, even though this part feels a bit clunky for me, mostly because of the app, not the process itself. That sounds funny, but yeah, I hate doing shading on Procreate. Alrighty, we're speeding things up. Trust me, you're not missing much, just me fighting the shadow and pretending what I'm doing. Here's how I do it. I add the shadow on the top of all the color layers, then lower the opacity to about 40%. Simple, but it works. So the shadow layer is black color, and I reduce the opacity to 40%, and I put it above the color layers. I also added a bit noise to the shadow. It gives them more texture and adds some extra depth to the overall look. Just throwing in a few extra colors just to make things pop. We're almost done here, so I'll let the rest play out without voiceover. Just sit back and enjoy the final touches. This is my favorite part, just quietly adding the final details that bring everything to life. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps. See you in the next one. Peace.